Are there any? Mr. Thurman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you to all the presenters, and congratulations, sir, on your work with the EMT program in Alameda County. I wanted to ask you, Mr. Rainey, about STEM programs, if there was funding in your division or networks that you thought we could draw dollars down for STEM education training for boys and men of color and girls and women of color. Just given all the projections for how many jobs are being created, will be created, and yet we're not keeping pace with a workforce that's ready for those jobs. Why not create, a pairing of a trained workforce of young people and young adults of color who can work in those jobs and earn a decent living and be trendsetters? And so is there money within your network or networks that we can draw down on to direct that STEM training money?
Yes, absolutely. Both, actually all three funds. The AB 2060 funds could be used for that purpose for at-risk youth. The accelerator funds most certainly can be. In fact, there have been a couple of projects, and in fact, many of the projects really do focus on providing career tech ed type skills with various partners at the table, figuring out how to seamlessly provide those and get some scale out of dollars so that students and low-income adults can actually find placement in good jobs, in technical jobs. A few years ago, we invested not a lot of money, but we leveraged a lot of money regionally in Oakland on a manufacturing training program with Laney College. Laney was having difficulty figuring out how to organize employers in the manufacturing sector to create bridges from Laney College's very good manufacturing skills training program. So we invested a small amount of accelerator type funds with the workforce board, the Oakland Workforce Board, to help kind of bridge the program and the jobs. And so this, what you described, is exactly what we're hoping to invest in. I'll just mention the Career Pathway Trust Fund investments as well are building pathways in the K-12 system and colleges and directly to jobs through work-based learning. It's all focused on career tech ed skills.
Thank you. We'll be in touch. Thanks.
Absolutely.
Assemblymember Brown.
First of all, thank you so much, all of you, for being here. And I agree with you. This is one of those kind of hearings that you just want to throw your hands up and put the sign in the air, but you also want to clap. And you're a part of that. As you know, Mr. Rainey, we have some problems in the city that one of the cities that I represent. And I'm wondering, is there a way that you might be able to help in the issue of the Slct of San Bernardino?
Yes, indeed. Absolutely. And you and I have talked about the city's challenges. So I would love to follow up with you and talk about where we are with that process. There's an appeal process going on now that we're really spending a lot of time focused on. But there's another thing that needs to happen parallel to the appeal process of building Slct and creating a partnership with the county to serve the residents of the city of San Bernardino. So I'm very much looking forward to talking more with you.
That's good. Slct stands for the San Bernardino Training Association, I think it is. But it's our workforce board for that particular city. San Bernardino is the largest county in the continental United States, and it's very difficult for the county to do the work of the city because of the needs of that city. They're so great. So I just wanted to put it on the record, ask you about it, and I do want to sit down and talk with you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Are there any more questions from any? All right. Thank you very much. And now we're opening it up for public comment. If there are any public comment.
Oh, there's none.
There's none.
Nobody's interested.
Oh.
Good morning. My name is Sandra Poole. I'm with the California Black Health Network, and I want to thank this committee for this hearing today. We were very encouraged by the proactive measures that are being taken by the Office of Health Equity at the California Department of Public Health, and we would just like to encourage other state agencies to go beyond the data collection. We know what the problems are, we know where the disparities are, and to implement some real solutions to these issues. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next comment.
Good morning. Samuel Nunez, Fathers and Families of San Joaquin and Stockton. In 2013, there's 2 cities that had the highest rates for children under 10 being arrested. That was Stockton and San Bernardino. Stockton led the state with 37% times higher than the rest of California. Stockton actually accounts for 1% of children under 10, but accounts for 26% of the state's arrests for children under 10 years old. The school district accounts for 89% of all arrests in Stockton. In Stockton, 22% of the 1,510 children under 10 arrested by school district officers during 1991 to 2013 were charged with felonies. The remainder with misdemeanors. Now, on top of this, 77% of the school climate funds under LCFF are going to go to increasing school police on campus. I would just like to caution and encourage you all to really set some parameters with the funding under Prop 47 that's going to be going down the school district, that this practice does not continue, and that we're actually putting in more restorative justice practices that we heard about today, and making certain that the funding is going towards what the spirit of the legislation was in the first place. Thank you so much for your time tonight.
Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is James Martinez. I would like to thank all in attendance that have been able to be here this morning to contribute. Society as an interest, as a whole, has interest in honest and ethical policing. We as people of color have been subjugated to injustices and indignities from our history, and looking forward, we see it as a continuous basis. We feel that individuals are in position to make a difference. Now, whether it's going to be done or not, we are all watching, and that's what we're here for, because evidently we do care, and we do want to take the time to address this matter of concern. Abuse under color of law is something that's become very prominent within our nation as a whole. It is something that we're dealing with not only on a California level, but on a national level. And as we can see, officers are shooting people at a moment's instance. They're not asking questions. All they're doing is acting and basically undermining justice by covering it up right after, as we've seen with Samuel Du Bois. Prime examples are taking place all over the nation, ladies and gentlemen. The time is now for us to take notice. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Brian Goldstein. I'm with the Center on Juvenile and Criminal Justice in San Francisco. I want to thank the committee for the hearing today. I want to commend Assemblymember Brown for her point that the community really knows what works. And that's particularly relevant when it comes to the Board of State and Community Corrections, or BSCC. BSCC Chair Penner testified today that the agency was formed in confidence in the community. Frankly, we wish there was more confidence in the community when it came to the BSCC. We have serious concerns about the agency's transparency and community engagement. They oversee billions of dollars in funding, including Prop 47, and we hope that they will look to community service providers, formerly incarcerated individuals, researchers, advocates, as they continue to make very important decisions, including Prop 47. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kim McGill from the Youth Justice Coalition. I also want to thank you for this hearing. We were very concerned that in hearing from the Attorney General's office, they've been meeting since January with law enforcement, but have refused to meet in any substantial way with community. As all of you already know, California and especially Los Angeles County lead the nation in use of force resulting in homicide. In LA County alone, that's 637 people that have been killed since 2000. So to hear a hearing where it seems like that is a problem that's been solved for our state is particularly troubling to all of us in Los Angeles. We delivered 9,000 signatures to the State Attorney General's office asking for just a meeting in the hopes that she would appoint a special prosecutor to look into the use of force across the state. And that has not only has a special prosecutor not been even discussed as a potential solution, but no meetings with the community have happened. So I urge you to push them in the right direction toward really seeing community as partners and not just law enforcement as partners. Similarly, we urge all of the senators to pass Assembly Bill 953, which would lead to real transparency in terms of stop and frisk and all kinds of stops, pedestrian and traffic stops across the state, which leads to use of force. And on the Assembly side, urge the Assembly to pass Senate Bill 124, which would eliminate or nearly eliminate solitary confinement in youth facilities. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Tyler Williams, and I have a question. I want to know what was so important that was on your phones.
It's just a comment, young man.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Rondell Bourne. I traveled all the way from South LA to be here with you guys. And this whole time that I was sitting here in this meeting and we had our panelists, I feel like you guys were not being respectful. You guys were not making eye contact. See, me at a young age, I was taught to make eye contact when I'm speaking to somebody so that you know I'm serious. And I feel like we come out here with our problems that's really happening in our communities, and you guys are not really paying attention, not really hearing it. Show some sympathy to us. We're not here for no reason just to talk, just to be on television. I'm here to really express my feelings, my emotions, you feel me? To bring it down to the emotional side, not the political side. You guys are on your phones not making eye contact. That's disrespectful. There's really problems in our community. People are really dying. Our young people are really dying. I'm only 16 years old. And I want to be in your guys' position one day. I want to be an attorney one day. Hopefully the attorney general. I had the chance to speak to our attorney general, Kamala Harris. And I didn't train for that. I went to that lady and I spoke to her about my story. I told her my story. And she showed me empathy and sympathy. You guys need to please just try to relate to us. Make eye contact. I'm looking at all of you guys on your faces. I'm up there looking. You guys are texting on your phones. That's disrespectful. That's all I got to say, but just take that in consideration. Thank you guys for what you guys are doing. I appreciate you guys, and I applaud you guys because you guys do have a tough job. Thank you very much.
Okay. So, young man, just and any of the, if you're going to have similar comments, the people you see here are the most committed to this issue. The people on this panel fought really hard to be on this panel. You have no idea. This was the most highly sought position. I just want you to know, we heard you. We heard you. We listened to all the speakers, and we're going to produce things from these meetings that hopefully you'll be very proud of. And so it's just the beginning of it for our 2 years, but I just want you to know they were heard and you're being heard. We have about 15 minutes, so.
My name's Jose Gallegos with the Youth Justice Coalition, and I as well travel all the way from South Central Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. And I actually was a part of the first hearings in 2011 when, what's his name? Swanson came in. Mm-hmm. And I seen not too much progress. I see progress, and I commend all the young people that came out here and spoke, right? But not enough progress for these 5 years, right? I was hearing about the AB realignment. I just got out the county jail for a misdemeanor. It doesn't matter what I went for in my story. We on the time limit, right? But listening to her talking about these programs that exist in there, first and foremost, the signs for these programs when you getting released about as small as your name. I can't read your name from here. Mm-hmm. And then they ask you, if you want to receive these programs, raise your hand. You know what it comes with? An additional 16 hours upon your release. Who wants to stay an additional 16 hours upon their release? Everybody kept their hand down. Why? Because they want to go home. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but I bet you if it was a gang injunction, she said that it's going to take time, but if it was a gang injunction, I bet you it'll be moving like this. You know what I'm saying? And I'm angry. I'm very frustrated about even, man, young man, you got to pay attention, man. Y'all got to pay attention.
Thank you. We heard you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Edilberto Flores, now from the Youth Justice Coalition, and as well, I travel from South Central LA. One thing I want to go ahead and say that you guys should go ahead and look into the 1% campaign that the Youth Justice Coalition has been working on, and as well, we have a lot of support from other grassroots organizations. And the 1% is to redirect 1% from the law enforcement budget to go ahead and create youth summer jobs, peace builders / intervention workers, and have youth centers. That 1% will go ahead and equals the amount of $100 million, and that will go ahead and have 50 youth centers, 500 peace builders / intervention workers, 25,000 youth summer jobs. As well, we were talking about jobs earlier. That's one thing that can go ahead and be created for young people to actually have something in the summer or year-round as well. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Hello, my name is Daphne Watson. I'm from San Diego County. So, hello, Lorena Gonzalez here. I come from a mental health background. My agency, Mental Health America, is really working on trying to address trauma. And I was really struck by the salient point brought out earlier, reference to the fear of black and brown young men, because I think that's the underlying challenge, many of the challenges and the policies that really are so restrictive and not helpful. So I applaud this committee in working and changing those things, and also really focusing on mental health and trauma, which is the bedrock of a lot of the challenges that our community is experiencing. So I applaud your work. I know it's a challenge. We have a lot more work to do, but we have come a long way. And I thank you for your effort in leading that and giving us the direction that we really need. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Ophelia Williams, and I'm with the Center for Young Women's Development in San Francisco. I also want to thank you all for your work, your hard work. I understand how difficult these issues are, and you all are championing these issues. I just wanted to stand here in support of boys and men of color, and I urge you to support girls and women of color. Thank you.
Thank you, Jessica Bartholow with the Western Center on Law and Poverty. And I just want to thank the members of the committee for really one of the most honest dialogues in the building. Not only the dialogue here today, but throughout the last couple of years that have resulted in some real important policy wins, including among them one I've been involved with, which is the repeal of the lifetime ban on public benefits for people with prior drug felony convictions. And the network of Boys and Men of Color, the organizations that are involved, were really part of making that success happen last year in the budget. And Mr. Jones Sawyer, a pivotal piece, right, in the budget conversations on that topic. We see the repeal that started. It was implemented finally on April 1st. And what it means is that people no longer have to go hungry after they've served their time, that their kids are no longer denied child care because of a prior drug felony conviction. We have one woman, Rosie, who was denied child care for her child. Her child went to clean houses with her because he was denied child care for a conviction that she had had 10 years prior to his birth. And people can receive job training and cash assistance to help them prevent homelessness for them and their families. This is an incredible win, and congratulate you and the coalition for it. And I really look forward to the next wins down the road and this further dialogue. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Sean Riggins, Fresno EOC Local Conservation Corps Director. First of all, I want to thank you all for your commitment to this issue. I also was part of the 2011 hearings when they came to Fresno, and if those are going to occur again, I definitely would like to see another hearing in Fresno because we need to be able to share our story. So once again, thank you for your commitment, and we look forward to meeting and working with you in the future.
Thank you. Are there any other comments from the public? Are there any comments from any of the closing remarks or anything from the members?
Of course, I'm going to have a closing comment, right? First of all, this, as I said earlier, is a wonderful hearing, good information. And for those who thought that we weren't paying attention, like in school, some people write notes and pay attention, and others look directly at you and pay attention. But there was one thing that came to my telephone that I thought maybe I should go ahead and read to the young man who left, who thought we were looking at our phones. There's some people who are watching us on this, watching this hearing. And one of the things that I have had a question of that didn't come up from anyone else is I am watching the hearing, and can someone mention the growing resources that elders have, how we can match that resource with the needs for mentors, role models for young men? And is anyone looking at that? I looked over at Mr. Jones Sawyer, and he said that's an excellent, excellent question. And maybe we should see how we can involve seniors and those who are the shoulders that we stand on in helping these young people. But he said, hey, let's figure out a way to pay them. So that, to me, is a good leader. And I thank you for allowing me to be a part of this hearing today.
I just want to thank all of our participants today for being a part of this hearing, our youth, members of the public, our partners, panelists, certainly all of our committee members and staff for coming together once again for another successful hearing and continue to build our momentum and grow this movement. When President Obama launched the My Brother's Keeper initiative, he emphasized the need to have all hands on deck to be successful. And he mentioned that it would require government working with the public sector, the private sector, and all like-minded others to get behind this movement to change the outcomes and move the needle and be part of the transformative change that we need. And I think that today's hearing, with strong participation on the part of our agency leaders, our community partners, our legislators, our youth, is evidence of the all-hands-on-deck approach in action here in California, where we help start the movement, continue to lead the movement, and strengthen the movement. And of course, we've had many successes up to this point. We've talked about those today, and there continues to be much more work to do. So I just want to thank you all for your continued engagement and commitment to this work as we strengthen our embrace of our boys and men of color going forward. I look forward to the work ahead and what we do to really create new pathways and opportunities for our young men and boys of color to thrive and live lives animated by justice and opportunity and equity. Thank you.
You have the gavel.
If no one else has any closing remarks, thank you again for your participation. I look forward to seeing you at the rally. We're adjourned. And I do have the gavel, so...